IGN's E3 live show, streaming straight to you on e3.ign.com and on YouTube. GlaDOS may have been IGN's top game villain, but that doesn't mean she's going to take a break. With us is Valve's Doug Lombardi. Let's see how Portal 2 is shaping up.
Okay, Doug, so Portal was kind of a popular game. It was a short game, but I guess it was popular enough to warrant an extensive sequel. Could you just sort of like bridge the gap between Portal and Portal 2 and give a general overview of what Portal 2 is?
Sure. Well, Portal 1 was sort of a short game because it was a totally new play mechanic, and we really weren't sure how that was going to resonate with customers and with gamers. So we included it as part of the Orange Box, and it was a little bit of an experiment. We had Episode 2 in there and Team Fortress 2 in there, and we thought, okay, well, Portal will be this nice addition to the Orange Box. It turned out that Portal was probably the most popular game in the Orange Box and the one that won the most awards, over 30 Game of the Year awards, etc. So we listened to that customer feedback and said, okay, people want more Portal, we should expand that and make it a full game. So pretty soon, right after Orange Box wrapped, people started pre-production on Portal 2, and we're looking at some of the comments from people that said they wanted more story, they wanted to know more about GlaDOS, they wanted to know more about Aperture, and they wanted more multiplayer. And that was really sort of the big piece that took us the longest amount of time to arrive on what would be the best multiplayer experience. So we've come up with this idea of a two-person co-op game where you play as these two robots. One's sort of a reconfigured turret that's now a robot, and one of the personality spheres has been reconfigured. And you play as those two people in the co-op game that's completely separate to the single-player game.
Okay, and in the single-player game, you still play as the same character from the first game.
That's right. You're still Chell. You've been sort of put in this sleep state for several lifetimes, quote-unquote. Okay. And you've been woken up by one of the personality spheres named Wheatley, who we're showing here at the show. And he's trying to escape Aperture and sort of co-opted you as sort of his helper to bring him around because he's a spear, he needs help, so you got to carry him around. He can open some doors and provide more backstory and comic relief as the two of you try to battle GlaDOS and escape from Aperture.
Okay, so yeah, I guess, I mean, as you move through the game, you do encounter more personalities than just GlaDOS.
That's right, yeah, absolutely. I mean, in the first game, we really saw from playtesting that we needed to strip away a lot of sort of clutter in the environments and too many characters and whatnot to make sure people got the basic play mechanic. Now we feel we have our head wrapped around that, so we can make the environments more lush, introduce more characters, more dialogue, and more story.
Okay, and I mean, I guess you get the sense of, you said the environment being more lush, and that, like, the facility is now overgrown. Like, you can see that some things are in disarray, I guess.
That's right, that's right. I mean, it's been many lifetimes since the last game, and a bunch of things have happened to sort of like, you know, there's growth inside of the facility, some areas are somewhat open to the outside air, and you also get a chance to go backstage, if you will, at Aperture and see some things behind the walls and some of the things that are going on behind the scenes of the test chambers.
Okay, and I mean, I guess, like, since this is supposed to be a longer experience, we'll get a chance to sort of play around with some new mechanics in terms of just solving puzzles and that kind of thing. Could you just go over some of the new stuff we might find?
Sure, definitely. One of the big goals was to not make Portal 2 a harder game than the first game, but to make it a more dynamic game and to challenge people's, you know, brains to think with portals in new ways. So we've added some new mechanics in there. One of the most exciting ones are the gels, which you can apply to the surfaces in the test chambers to get things like speed with the orange gel, or the ability to jump really high with the blue gel. And you have the ability to apply that anywhere in the test chambers to sort of help you manipulate your way through.
Okay, and I mean, I guess that would transfer over to co-op too, because if you have two people running around in an environment, can they all shoot individual portals? Like, so you have four portals in the environment?
That's right. So you have 4 portals, and you really need to work cooperatively to lay down your portals as needed. And just like in the first game, we're going to graduate people through that. So you'll start off with the ability to lay down one portal, and the other co-op player lays down the other portal, and you're basically playing the single-player game together, which we actually found a lot of people did the first time. They were sort of playing co-op with one controller. And then once you sort of get that idea together, then we give you the second portal, so now you have 4 total that you sort of have to use to sort of, one person sort of helps direct a person around in one puzzle, and then the other person has to sort of bring them back. And we're making that you know, experience playable in split screen on the consoles. Yeah. And we're doing a bunch of things like allowing people to hit a button to see, if I'm playing with you, I can hit a button and see what you're looking at, so that if we're playing over the net, we can try and recreate that experience of us playing together on the couch.
Oh, okay, so you can actually get a sense of like, hey, I want you to put a portal like right there.
That's right. So there's little icons and stuff that you can pull up on your screen and say, put a portal here or look over here and whatnot. Again, giving players more tools to communicate when they're not directly next to each other.
That's cool. And I mean, I guess speaking of consoles, there was an announcement at the Sony press conference. Could you go over what that was?
Sure, yeah, we're bringing Portal 2 to the PlayStation 3, and it's going to be powered by Steamworks, which means we'll have the ability to bring some of the Steam community features over, the matchmaking features that we introduced with Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, and also to provide automatic updates to keep the game up to speed with the PC version, with new maps, new content, tweaks and fixes, etc.
Okay, that sounds great. I guess when can we expect Portal to come out?
Portal 2 will be on the Mac, the PC, the PlayStation 3, and the Xbox in 2011.
Okay, well, we're all looking forward to it.
Excellent, thank you.
Back to you, Jess.
Great look, guys. I gotta say, I feel like hugging a companion cube right about now. Coming up next, we're going to welcome you to the Brink with Brink. And that's rather convenient. We'll see you then.